Hey guys, welcome to today's video. It is going to be a long one. Buckle up because I am here to talk about 30 brands that you can find at Sephora. I am going to recommend my favorite product from each of these brands because as we all know by now, the Sephora VIB sale, spring savings event, whatever you want to call it, it is among us. And I have a plethora of Sephora videos that I've done over the years, over my time here on YouTube. I will have a whole Sephora playlist down below, but I decided this year I wanted to do something a little different and I thought that it might be helpful for me to share my favorite product and why I love it from 30 brands at Sephora. So if you are into that, stay tuned. But first, if you are new, hello and welcome. My name is Kelly and I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking, I love makeup, I love talking about makeup. So if you like to chat about makeup too, this is the place for you. If you are makeup obsessed like I am, join the crew. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Like I said, this is going to be a long one. We're gonna go in alphabetical order and I have tried out 30 different brands that you can find at Sephora. So to begin, we are going to start at the top of the list, which is Anastasia Beverly Hills. And for this one, I had to go with her brow products. They're just a classic for me. Over the years, I've used her Brow Wiz, her Brow Definer, both in caramel, and her clear brow gel. Those are the standouts for me. I just feel like they are my go-tos time and time again. As a natural redhead, it is so difficult to find a shade that really matches my brows and looks natural on me, and to this day I've tried several and I have not found anything better than caramel. So if you are a redhead or you're looking for a brow shade that isn't going to pull too warm but it's going to give you a little bit of warmth, a little hint of red without being that bright orange red, I definitely suggest you check out caramel. I know a lot of people have found dupes for the ABH Brow Pencil, Brow Wiz, Brow Definer over the years, but for me I just keep going back to the originals. Recently, I filmed a video where I was ranking my top 10 foundations of all time. You should definitely check that out if you are interested to know my foundation favorites, but you will not be surprised to see that the Armani Luminous Silk made it into that ranking. I have used the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation for years. It's a pricey one. This is the smaller size. I have the shade 4. This is 0.6 fluid ounces, and I want to say it's around $44 as opposed to the one that's over $60 for 1 fluid ounce. If you are someone who is just purchasing one foundation at a time, you may benefit from the larger quantity. If you are someone who has a rotation of foundations, like myself, then you may really enjoy the smaller size. I love this foundation because one, it is giving me like a luminous silk finish. I have dry skin, so it helps when I have a little bit of luminosity built in, but it's not too dewy and glossy. It's not going to make my skin look oily. It just gives me like an airbrushed finish. It sits very comfortable on the skin. I am constantly getting compliments when people see me wearing this foundation. They're asking me what I'm doing to my complexion, what is on my face. I feel like the coverage is great. It gives me more of like a medium coverage. You can build it a little bit, but it's not going to be too thick and heavy that it's going to irritate my dry skin, but it will cover. It's not going to be a light coverage like a skin tint would be. So this is just, it's a favorite for me. I've repurchased it. I love it. What more can I say about that? I have tried several Benefit products, several. When I had to think of like my top favorite, I was like, man, do I go with the bronzers? Do I go with the blush? But the product from Benefit that I use pretty much every single day is their mascara. It's the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. This is a lengthening mascara, and so I use this as a second step or a second mascara in my routine. Is it extra? Yes, it's very extra. However, I don't wear false lashes. I go in with my natural lashes, so I want first a mascara that's going to give me volume. The Roller Lash is not going to give you volume. So I go in with a volumizing mascara, but then I want something to lengthen and spread my lashes out, and I feel like the Benefit Roller Lash is perfect for that. It gives me some extra length, it spreads my lashes out, it helps me fight against those spider lashes, and it's just been an OG favorite. I do keep it in my rotation, and I probably need to purchase another one during the sale. Charlotte Tilbury is another one where I'm like, what avenue do I go down? Because I love the bronzer and I love her cheek products and I love her lipsticks. So like to think of a top favorite, but for me, I had to go with her lip cheats. I absolutely love her lip liner formula because it is creamy, but not too creamy. It's not dry enough that it's going to tug on the lips. It will apply in a creamy fashion, but it's not quite as creamy as the Natasha Denona, which I find sometimes slips and slides. The Charlotte Tilbury will stick down down. It will stay on your lips. It's not going to budge. It is very long wear. This shade in my hand right here is her new shade. It's in 90s pink. I wore it recently in a couple videos. I will try and remember what video it is and link it down below if you want to check it out and see it in person. But my personal favorite, and I mean it's just all on preference, is Iconic Nude. I've talked about Iconic Nude time and time again. It's just a great formula. I also did recently film a collaboration with my friend Samantha March, and we talked about our Holy Grail lip combos, and you can see me applying Charlotte Tilbury's Iconic Nude in that video as well. It's a great nude shade. It's a go-to. I can wear it underneath any lipstick and it just looks flawless. Next up we have Estee Lauder, and for this one I don't currently have the product in my collection, but it's the Futurist Hydra Rescue Foundation with SPF. Again, I did talk about this one in my foundation video. This one has the added benefit of an SPF, which is great if you're going to be outside in the summer, if you're going to sporting events, or if you just like to hang outside in general and you're looking for a little added SPF. I wouldn't use it as just your only SPF, but a little added SPF. It is a great one. However, I would not choose this foundation if you're doing like flash photography, getting your pictures taken in a wedding, something like that. The thing that I like about this foundation is it's super hydrating and it gives me a dewy, glowy, luminous finish, which with dry skin, I really do appreciate that. I want something that's going to give me dewiness and luminosity, and this one really does it. If you have more like oily combo skin, you're looking for a little bit more full coverage, something that is going to give you the longer wear. I have not personally tried the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, but I know a lot of people have talked about it and raved about it for years. I have girlfriends who have tried it out and loved it. So I would go that route if you have more combo oily and you're looking for full coverage. But if you have more normal to dry skin and you are looking for that dewy luminous finish, the Futurist Hydra Rescue is the way to go. Farmacy is a brand that I know and love. I know and love them well. And honestly, I could not pick just one. I couldn't pick just one. I am so sorry. One that I don't have in my collection, but I will be repurchasing, is the Green Clean Cleansing Balm. I love this one because it is a balmy texture. It's not an oil, so if you have combo oily skin, you're not going to be irritated with this one. But my dry skin friends who prefer an oil, the nice thing about this balm is when you do pick it up and scoop it into your hand, it does emulsify and becomes more of an oily texture. So you don't have to press real hard on your skin. You don't have to tug at your mascara. You can just put the balm all over your face on dry skin. I like to go in with a makeup eraser and wipe off the makeup before doing a double cleanse and going in with my cleanser, but this gets all of the makeup off without being irritating, and I feel like no matter your skin type, that would be a great product for you. However, I couldn't leave out my moisturizer. It's the Farmacy Honey Halo. I have gone through so many of this moisturizer. I love it because it does come with a spatula that is magnetic, so you're not necessarily going to use it. It'll stick onto the top there, which I think is great. But the thing that I love about this moisturizer, a little bit goes a long way. So you really only need a tiny scoop to cover your whole face and neck, but it is ultra hydrating without being too thick. It's not a thick formula. It's not going to feel heavy on the skin. It does feel lightweight and hydrating, but it really sinks into the skin and it really gives you that deep, intensive moisture that I think you would benefit from no matter your skin type. Again, it's not going to be oily or greasy. You don't need to like let it set down before you go in with any other products, and it's just a staple for me. Fenty Beauty has been a brand that's been a little hit and miss for me, but one product that has been a standout is the Fenty Eye Primer. I think it's called the Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer. I don't currently have it in my rotation. However, I loved this eye primer for a couple reasons. I struggle with eczema. I'm currently struggling with eczema underneath my eyes, but I have also gotten eczema on my eyelids. And when I have eczema on my eyelids, MAC paint pot, too thick. Any kind of wand, like the Vive wand, Sigma wand, too thick. Even going in with like the Urban Decay Primer Potion was a little bit too thick. I tend to prefer something like that to give me a little bit of coverage. With the Fenty, you're not going to get any extra coverage. It is more of like, it's like a pinky hue, but it is more of like a sheer coverage, but you still get that tacky base. And so when I was struggling with texture on my eyelids and when I was struggling with my eczema, I would reach for that one because it's going to still give me the sticky, tacky base and it's going to help my eyeshadows apply. You just have to know that you don't get the added benefit of color correction with that product. Givenchy, every single person is talking about their Prism Libre powder. I have the shade 3. I think this is a great powder. I think it definitely gives you like a soft focus finish. Again, I have dry skin, and so this doesn't irritate my skin. I typically only put powder underneath my eyes and on my forehead, but with this one, I can take it on my cheeks, I can take it on my chin, and it is going to give me a soft filter effect without being too drying. This particular shade in 3 does have that pink undertone, which is supposed to give you like a brightening effect. So I think it's a great powder. I do love now that they have a mini. This is the full size, but I would say go for the mini because a little bit goes a long way with that one. But I also did want to talk about a lipstick that I had 4 years ago, and I loved it. I want to say it's called the Velvet Matte Lipstick. I will have a picture of it, of course, but specifically the shade 35, which was like Rouge Ignite. It was this deep brick red, and it gave me a matte finish, but it had a velvety texture going on. I can't really explain anything that is like it. Lisa Eldridge, if you tried her lipsticks, it's similar to that. It's definitely matte, and it's going to dry down and give you a matte effect, but it doesn't settle into your fine lines, and it's very creamy when it goes on, even though you get the matte finish. And that shade 35 was like a beautiful shade if you are a redhead or have warm undertones in your hair and you're looking for something that's not going to be too orange. Definitely check that out. If you've been here for a while, I'm sure every single person can talk about what I'm going to mention from Glow Recipe. The niacinamide dewdrops. I have been raving about these. This is my second container. I'm now, or maybe third. I'm now scraping the bottom of it. I will definitely repurchase this. I know my friend Heather Austin uses this as a skincare product. I use it as a primer. So I do my entire skincare. Then I will take this and I will put it on top of the skin to get a glowy, luminous texture. However, I have dry skin. So if you have oily skin like Heather, she uses this more as a serum underneath her moisturizer, and it works well for her. But it's just a great product. Niacinamide is known to be brightening. So if you struggle with darkness or any kind of scarring and you're looking for a little bit of brightening, I definitely recommend that one. Gucci, I do have to say, I have not tried a ton from Gucci, but I could not leave out the Gucci blush. This is the Gucci blush in 05 Rosy Beige. I love this blush. I love it. It's expensive. You definitely want to get it on a sale because I think it's around 60 bucks. But I love this one because it looks matte in the pan here, and it does give me more of a satin finish, but there's no glitter, there's no shimmer, there are no specks. I feel like it's very pigmented, but I can also build it up. It doesn't go in too heavy. I'm able to build it and get the pigmentation that I want. And this particular shade is like a beautiful mauve. So it goes with every eye look, and I love it. Give Beauty is another brand where there have been some hits and some misses for me, but one product that is a huge hit is the lipstick. This is the lipstick in Original Me, the original recipe shade. It's her matte red. Again, if you saw my video with Samantha, my Holy Grail lips, you heard me talk about this more, but I'm so particular as a redhead. This one is just very much a classic red. It's not too blue based. It's not too warm orange based. It definitely gives you a long wear. It is matte. It's not going to travel all over the lips, which I really truly appreciate. In the last 2 family photos that we've taken every Christmas, this is the red lipstick that I've worn, and I just love it. If you have dry skin, definitely check out the Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder. I used mine up. I have some powders in my rotation, which is why I haven't purchased it again yet, but I will 100% purchase this translucent powder again because it is great for underneath the eyes. It is great for the forehead. It's going to really help the longevity of your makeup and those cream products and liquid products and set them down, but it is so finely milled that it's not heavy, it's not cakey, it's not going to settle into any dry patches, and overall, I have to say, it's probably my favorite powder of life. I had to think of my favorite product from Hudabeauty because I've tried stuff from Huda, and overall I like the stuff that I have tried from her, but nothing has been a standout product until I thought about her liquid lipstick. I don't know if it's called like a velvet lipstick or a liquid lipstick, but specifically the shade Wifey, if you are a mauve lover. The shade Wifey is like a beautiful pinky mauve shade, and I like the creaminess of her liquid lip. It goes on. It's not going to be tight or drying. You are going to get the long wear, and the color is going to stay. I really appreciate the doe foot applicator, and so I think that that would have to be my favorite product from Hudabeauty, and I would definitely highly recommend it if you're in the market for like a liquid lipstick or velvet lipstick situation. Kosas is another brand that I haven't tried a ton from, but I did try their concealer and I really did like their concealer when I tried it. I found the shade range to not be the best. I had a hard time finding one that was more of a neutral or peachy undertone. A lot of them had a very like yellow undertone and I wasn't a huge fan of that. But overall it was creamy, it didn't settle into fine lines, it gave me great coverage, and it lasted well on the eyes. It also didn't go bad too quickly, but I feel like it is important to note that I think it went bad quicker than some of my other concealers. So if you are going to purchase the Kosas concealer, I feel like you might want to do it as like a one concealer situation. If you are someone who has a rotation of concealers, just know I do feel like because it is a clean product that it goes bad a little bit quicker. KVD. I don't do liquid liner anymore, ever, but when I did liquid liner, the KVD tattoo liner was it for me. That was my jam. I could get a nice precise wing. It was definitely very black and matte, and it set down, and even in hot and humid Texas, it was not creating, you know, this smoky black line all over my face. So if you are in the market for a liquid liner, that would be the one that I would steer you toward. If you've been on my channel for any amount of time, you know my love for the Lancome Mercier Big Mascara. I mentioned Benefit earlier, and the Benefit plus the Lancome is like my holy grail mascara because the Lancome is very, very volumizing. It is thick, the wand is large, it gives you a great coat of mascara on your lashes, but I find that if I use only the Lancome, which gives me the volume that I want, it can sometimes be a little bit too spidery or clumpy, so that's why I like to follow it with the Benefit Cosmetics. And I will use the roller lash to kind of spread it out, lengthen the lashes, and the combination of the two really does help me to create like my ultimate volumized and lengthened lashes. Laneige is another one. I had to mention two products. First is my toner. I have gone through several of these. I actually need to repurchase one during the Sephora sale. If you have dry skin, the Laneige Creamy Moisturizing Toner, it's super duper hydrating. It really helps your skin have like a big drink of moisture and hydration, so I highly, highly recommend it. But I also did want to mention the Laneige Lip Sleeping Masks. I think these are amazing. You can even get like a smaller size. This is the large one. It's lasted me quite a while. I like to dip into this and put it on my lips before bed, and I notice that when I go to sleep, my lips are hydrated, but when I wake up, they are also still hydrated. I don't feel like the texture of the product on my lips when I'm sleeping. It just feels like my lips are soft and I don't have like this mask all over my mouth when I wake up. It really is a great texture and I highly recommend this one. Laura Mercier, I did want to touch on her translucent powder. It was a favorite of mine for years. The Hourglass took over and became a favorite over the Laura Mercier translucent powder, but I feel like if you have more normal skin, normal combo, normal dry, then the Laura Mercier translucent powder may be better for you because it is going to really give you that like soft focused look. It's really going to set your makeup down and help with longevity. It's just not quite as finely milled as the Hourglass one. Lawless is a brand that's new to me and I've really become obsessed with their lip products. So I had to mention both of these again. I mentioned them in that Holy Grail lip product, but these, y'all, these are amazing. So first of all, I have the balm. This particular one in my hand here is in the shade Cupid, which is a new shade and it's more of like a cool toned pink. Pink Marshmallow would be the one that I would recommend for like everyday wear. It's just a super hydrating balm, but it is going to give you a little bit of a glossy effect without being too glossy. It's not going to look like you have a lip gloss on, but it's going to make your lips look super hydrated. And then I am not someone who is a huge gloss girl, but these glosses knock it out of the park for me. They really do give you a juicy like lip filler effect without the lip filler. There's a little bit of a cooling sensation, but it's not tingly or uncomfortable. I find that when I did that lip swatch video for the Holy Grail lip products, I put this gloss on after and it really just helped my lips to feel super hydrated while looking amazing as well. LYS is a brand that I do want to try more from. She has released some more products since I tried them last, but I really was a fan of the LYS foundation, the Triple Fix foundation. It was a great, more medium coverage foundation. It was a little bit more of a natural finish, I'd say. I tried it a couple years ago. I don't remember it building up to be full coverage. It was just a traditional like medium coverage, natural looking foundation, and it wasn't drying on my skin. It wasn't too heavy. I didn't feel it sitting on top of the skin. So if you are looking to try out an LYS product, I would definitely recommend that one. Makeup Forever. Makeup Forever is a brand that has been around for a while, and their liners are the liners that I'm reaching for. So these are called the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils, and I have 2 shades. I'm wearing one on my lips. You're supposed to be able to use these anywhere on your face, eyes and lips. I have Endless Cacao on the lips, and then in my lower waterline, I do have the pencil in Boundless Bisque, which is more of a skin tone, and so I put that on my lower waterline, and that helps to open up my eyes since they are smaller. I like that these are smudge proof. They don't budge, even in the waterline. It stays on. It's not getting all over the place. They are super pigmented, and it's a wooden pencil that you can sharpen, but it doesn't tug on your skin, so I really, really appreciate that. I love NARS Cosmetics. I have tried several of their products. The foundation that I'm wearing today is definitely a favorite. This is the Light Reflecting Foundation. I have the shade L4 DeVille. I love this one. It definitely has a reflecting property. So if you're not looking for dewiness, if you're not looking for glowiness, this would not be the one for you. But if you have dry skin, you're looking for a dewy, glowy finish, this really does it. It is nice long wear. It is comfortable. It is, I would say, more of a medium to buildable coverage. But I also did want to mention the lipsticks, because the lipsticks are super expensive. I've owned several over the years. This one is in the shade Barbara, but these are super pigmented. Like, I'm talking one swipe, you get full pigment, full opacity, but they also have a very, very long wear. To be a bullet lipstick, they wear really, really well with the pigmentation, and I just think they are, although they're more expensive, they're a great purchase. Natasha Denona. You guys already know what I'm gonna say. I am obsessed with the Natasha Denona eyeshadows. It's my favorite eyeshadow formula. These are 2 of my favorite palettes, the My Dream and the Retro. I just really fell in love with her formula. I love all of them. I love the mattes, I love the shimmers, I love this duochrome down here, I love the cream to matte formula. It's super blendable, it's easy to wear, it's easy to use. The shimmers really pack a punch, and I have tried several of her eyeshadows over the years, and I just really love them. I keep reaching for them. They stick around in my collection, and I'm a huge favorite. Of course, during the Sephora sale, if you are a VIB Rouge, you can save 20% on these, but if you are not a VIB Rouge, if you're just a VIB or a Beauty Insider, you can save 15% off on the Natasha Denona website with my one-time use affiliate code, which is KBella. However, Natasha Denona is often a site that runs sales and deals, so I would definitely check there as well. But I love the eyeshadow formula. Pat McGrath. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about those Pat McGrath motherships, but not me. I am going to be talking about the Pat McGrath blushes, because I have repurchased these time and time again. This one is in the shade Nymphette. The other one that I have right here was a holiday release, I believe. It's Nude Venus 2, and they're just beautiful. These blushes are beautiful, they are pigmented, they give you a little bit of a sheen, and they just help my skin to look super hydrated. I really love the comfort and ease, the blendability, the way that I can build them up. If you're looking for more of a light blush day, Pat McGrath blushes got you. If you're looking for more of a high pigmented blush day, Pat McGrath blushes got you. Just overall, I really love them. I think they are worth it, and I've continued to repurchase them over the years. I have to talk about Patrick Ta's foundation. I know this foundation was hit or miss for a lot of people. For me personally, it was a hit. It really looked beautiful on my dry skin. It gave me a dewy, glowy finish. I got more of a medium to buildable full coverage kind of look, and it lasted on the skin. You have to set it down, but overall, I was really, really pleased with it. If you have more normal to oily combo skin, I don't know that this would be a great one for you, but for my dry skin gals, I highly recommend that one. Rare Beauty is a brand that does a lot of cream and liquid products, which are not my favorite, but one product that Rare Beauty has done amazingly that I am absolutely obsessed with is the highlighter. This is in the shade Mesmerize. I love this highlighter. It's more of like almost a pinky rose gold type of shade, and it just looks beautiful on the skin. It is high pigment, it is high shine. You are getting bang for your buck, boom, in your face, shining to outer space, which is what I look for, and I love the variety of shades that she has to offer as well. I wanted to mention Sol de Janeiro because I absolutely love the Boom Boom cream. I know some people, my husband's always like, it's Bum Bum cream. But one time I saw Madison Miller say that she worked with people or talked to people from Sol de Janeiro and they said Boom Boom. So that is what I am sticking to. But I love the cream, the original, the body cream. And the thing that I love about it now is you can see my husband and I both use this, but now they have refillable containers. So when I use this up, I don't need to purchase a full container. I can just purchase the refillable. But we have gone through, I want to say 3 of these large jars and also several travel size jars that I like to take when we're going out of town. But I love the scent, especially when I was pregnant and nursing. I didn't want to wear perfume that was too strong, but now on like a day to day, I'll slap this on my arms when I'm getting ready for work or before bed, and I've actually gotten compliments as to like, oh my gosh, what do you smell? I no longer smell it on my skin, but other people smell it on my skin, and it's divine. I love the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas. This is my 3rd container. I'm almost out. I need to purchase another one. I like that they have this smaller size and the larger size. They also have a balm if you have more combo oily skin. I think the balm is better for you. If you have more normal to dry skin, the liquid is great. I will put this just where my pores are largest and on my forehead, and it gives me a nice smoothing effect, but it adds a little bit of hydration as well. I wanted to talk about Too Faced. I feel like Too Faced is a brand that I loved years and years and years ago, and it's kind of fallen off for me, but I still do think they make great bronzers. I had the Milk Chocolate Soleil so many years ago, and I'm interested in adding it back to my collection to see how I'm feeling about it recently, but I remember I hit pan on that. It was my holy grail. I would use it every single day. It gave me a nice bronze, and I do like that there is a variety of shades to choose from. Urban Decay, I have to give it to the Hydromaniac. Again, go watch my foundation video if you want to hear more about that. But the Hydromaniac was one that I did not purchase right away because it is marketed as a skin tint. But to me, it feels like a full-on foundation. I was not getting like the light coverage of a skin tint. I was getting more of a medium coverage with a natural finish, and you get a boost of hydration. My only qualm with that one is I do feel like it went bad quickly. I picked it up during an Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale, and it didn't even last a year on me. So I don't know if the product itself was old or I just wasn't using it quick enough, but I really liked the comfort of it. I liked the way that my skin looked. It gave me more of a natural finish, and it just looked hydrated and glowy, which I loved. And that is going to do it, fast and furious. I know this was probably a super long video, but I hope that this was helpful for you as you're building your Sephora cart. I also filmed a wish list video if you want to know what's on my list. I built my cart if you are interested in hearing what I am curious to pick up. But I wanted to do my recommendations a little bit different this year just because I have given so many recommendations over the years. So these are my top picks from 30 different brands. I would love to know your thoughts down below. Have you tried any of these? What are your holy grail products? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it in the comments. Please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you did find it helpful, and make sure you subscribe before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.